Morning children. Today we'll discuss about percentage compositions of element in different compounds and as well as the flame test. Now percentage compositions of a compound is the percentage by weight of each element present in it, and there is a mathematical relationship. Percentage of an element in a compound is equals to total weight of the element in one molecule divided by gram molecular weight of this compound into 100. In last video, atomic weight, molecular weight, we have discussed about molecular weight, how to calculate the molecular weight. It is actually the sum of all atomic weights of all the atoms present in a molecules of a compound, and when the molecular weight is expressed in gram, it will be termed as gram molecular weight. There is an example: calculate percentage of hydrogen in water, and relative atomic mass of hydrogen and oxygen are given. We know the molecular formula of water is H2O. Therefore, the relative molecular mass RMM of H2 will become 2 into 1 plus 16, 18. So applying this formula, the total weight of the element of one molecule divided by gram molecular weight into 100%. So that means hydrogen present 2 into 1 gram, and total oxygen and total water will be 18. So 2 by 18 into 100. That means hydrogen in water is 11.1%. Another example given on your book that calculate the percentage of nitrogen in urea, and the formula is given NH2CO NH2. Last video we have discussed about that molecular weight, how to calculate the molecular weight of urea. Relative atomic mass of nitrogen, carbon, oxygen, hydrogens are given. Using these relative atomic masses, the molecular weight of urea can be calculated easily. Now the percentage of nitrogen, weight of nitrogen by total weight of urea. 2 atoms of nitrogens are present. You can observe in this table that 2 nitrogen atoms are present, and each nitrogen atom contributes 14 AMU to 60 AMU total. So that means 2 nitrogen atoms will contribute 2 into 14, that is 28. So therefore percentage of nitrogen will be 28 into 100 by 60, that percentage. Similarly, you can calculate the percentage compositions of various elements, not a single element, various elements. That means sodium carbonate, sodium, you have to calculate the percentage of sodium, percentage of carbon and percentage of oxygen. Using same formula, can calculate that sodium percentage, carbon percentage and oxygen percentage. The last topic of this first chapter is empirical formula of a compound. Empirical formula of a compound is just the simplest formula which gives the simplest ratio in the whole numbers of atoms of different elements present in one molecule of the compound. You know the molecular formula of hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Now the common factor is 2. So if you cancel the common factor from both sides, that means from hydrogen side as well as in the oxygen side, it will become HO. So this is the simplest ratio. The actual ratio is 2:2. That's why the molecular formula is H2O2. But in the simplest formula, that means HO, since the simplest ratio is 1:1. Similarly, glucose, you know the molecular formula of glucose C6H12O6. That means the common factor is 6. So cancels 6 from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, you get CH2O. That's why in glucose are termed as carbohydrates, hydrates of carbon, CH2O, hydrates of carbon, hydrates of carbon. So that means the empirical formula is the simplest formula, which is not actually the molecular formula, so that means common factor into empirical formula will gives you molecular formula. Here common factor is 6, so if you multiply 6 with the CH2 you can get the molecular formula. And empirical formula mass, it can be obtained by using same pattern to calculate that molecular formula. Empirical formula mass is the sum of atomic masses, relative atomic masses of various elements present in the empirical formula. So as we have discussed about that empirical formula of hydrogen peroxide is HO, so empirical formula mass will be 1 plus 16, 17. Now another most important topic is flame test. This year council had set one questions regarding this flame test. This most important test, important terms are there. Certain metals, compounds of certain metals impart some characteristics color to a flame. Actually what happened, the metal contains several electrons. When you inject the compounds of the metal, the electrons are jump to the higher allowed path, or basically the orbit, higher allowed orbit. When they comes back to their initial positions, they will emit some energy, and you can observe this energy as a form of light. In higher class you will observe, you can understand that this factor is basically, the color is basically due to the jump of the electron from lower level to the higher allowed level. However, a flame test, compounds of certain metals impart a characteristic color to a flame. The procedure to detect the color imparted is as follows. First of all, you have to prepare a paste of this salt. Salt means the compounds of the metal with concentrated HCl in a watch glass. It's made up of glass, watch glass, and you have to inject this paste with the help of this platinum wire to the non-luminous flame of the Bunsen burner. Non-luminous flame. This is the picture from your book. In your book it has been depicted as a yellow color flame. This is not the non-luminous flame, this is actually the luminous flame. You can't observe any flame color in the luminous flame. Luminous flame means the yellow color flame that are observed for the case of the Bunsen burner, and non-luminous flame means the bluish flame. You have to inject the paste with the help of this platinum wire to the non-luminous, that means the bluish flame of the Bunsen burner. And according to a syllabus, sodium, the 4 salts are there as per your council syllabus. Sodium will impart yellow color flame, golden yellow color flame. Potassium will produce lilac or violet color flame. Calcium, it will form non-persistent brick red color, and copper will produce bluish green color. However, some other metals are there. For example, barium, though it is not in your syllabus, but still barium produce apple green color, strontium produce crimson red color. Okay, these are the colors of different flames. This is the colors for the sodium salt, the golden yellow. This is for the potassium salt. This is for the calcium salt, and this is for your copper salt, the bluish green. Okay, so this experiment can be written in your practical copy like this way. Aim to apply the flame test to identify the metal in an unknown salt, but initially we will start with the known salt, a sodium salt, a potassium salt, a calcium compound. These are already in your syllabus. This is the Bunsen burner, platinum wire. Look at this non-luminous flame. They have clearly mentioned non-luminous flame. Theory, and you have to write the procedure. Non-luminous flame, clean it by dipping it in the concentrated hydrochloric acid. You have to prepare an observation table. Okay, now let's do some experiment, but here we don't use the platinum wire. This is the Bunsen burner gas cylinder. Just open it, and this is the non-luminous flame, bluish color flame. Non-luminous is the air hole is there. So you can switch off this Bunsen burner by this knob, and you can switch on like this way. Remember that you have to produce non-luminous flame, that is bluish flame. There are several salt of potassium, salt of copper, strontium, sodium, barium. Several salts are there, calcium, lithium salts is also there. One by one we will observe that will be the colors of this flame. Okay, here you have to use that the cotton slab instead of using platinum wire. Cotton slab. Okay, this is the waste beaker. A little acid, very dilute sulfur hydrochloric acid is there just to clean this cotton slab. First, potassium, salts of potassium, using these cotton buds. But in that lab you have to use platinum wire. Lilac flame is observed. Lilac flame. Lilac flame is observed. The pale violet color flame for the potassium. Use and throw. This is the simple cotton slab. Next is the copper. Theoretically you have learned that it will produce a bluish green color, that peacock green color flame. The copper salt is there. It will produce a bluish green flame. Bluish green flame. The peacock green flame. And in the next salt, in the case for the strontium, though it is not in your syllabus, but look at the color, it will produce the crimson red color. The crimson red color. This is the persistent crimson red color. Persistent. It will stay. Now next is the sodium. Theoretically you have learned that it will produce a golden yellow flame. Golden yellow flame. This the golden yellow flame is only due to the sodium salt. Okay students,